Drag queens are one of the UK's main sources of entertainment, and since the lockdown began, many have been out of work, one being Michael Adams, who performs as Giselle at Viaduct Showbar in Leeds. Pavlo Kodiaka is Ukraine's strongest man. Even with the ongoing war in Ukraine, he's been training every single day to prepare to come across to the UK and compete in the giant World's Strongest Man arena tour. Pavlov has hope of bringing home the title of Europe's Strongest Man to make himself, his family and his country proud. The first direct arena in Leeds will be the first stop on the giant World's Strongest Man arena tour, and Pavlov has travelled all the way from Ukraine to compete. Large retailers and supermarkets have been one of the only locations to remain open during the pandemic. But how has this influenced the lives of the amazing customer service assistants that have worked throughout this crisis?
It was very difficult in this time. My country's war. Russia bombing my hometown, my country, killed our people. And every day, every night is air alarm and we go into shelter. You can plan in your day because it's every minute missiles can aim at in your home.
Life in Ukraine has been difficult for Pavlo, but he has shown his strength in so many different ways, one being powering through the struggles that his country now faces because of the war.
And from Krakow, we have flight to Leeds, and 31 March we will arrive to Leeds. Our people are very motivated. Every Ukrainian citizen is helping to our armed forces, to our people. Women's, child, everyone helping. We are one nation.
Pavlo was very excited and says he's prepared for the weekend ahead. He wants to bring the title home to Ukraine and his family. Everyone here is rooting for you, Pavlo, and we all wish you the best of luck. So my name's Abbie. I'm here with Terry White, the ex-editor of Empire magazine and now freelance journalist. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Terry?
Yeah, as you say, I'm a journalist, writer, author, trying to think if I've forgotten anything, broadcaster maybe. I was a magazine journalist for 21 years. I've just recently gone freelance after editing Empire for 6 years. And I write books as well.
So what was it about print journalism that drew you?
So I've always loved print magazines, you know, something tangible, just the sense of care and curation that goes into a print magazine, the way it's paced, the rhythm of it, the feel of the paper between your fingers, the smell of the ink. There's no smell like the smell that comes out of the box when you open the box that's coming from the printers that's got the first run of magazines in. I've always been obsessed with them as kind of objects, and I still massively love print journalism. I think it just allows you to be considered in a way that maybe a lot of digital journalism this way isn't geared towards. And I think it's a really important part of a lot of major magazine brands like Empire, for example. So I think I'll always love print.
So as a woman in journalism, it is quite difficult for women in journalism. There's a lot of discrimination and stereotypes towards us. At what point do you think we'll be able to stop having to prove ourselves in the journalistic world?
Oh God, that's a good question. I think, and I've definitely always felt like I had to prove myself that I was as good as the men I was surrounded by. I would work longer hours, I would work harder. And I think a lot of that pressure came from myself as much as anyone else. What I thought people thought about women in journalism. I think things have definitely improved over the last, 20 years that I've been in magazine journalism. I think there are real problems built in which need tackling. So things like maternity leave, how much you actually get paid to be able to be at home with your child, flexible working for when you go back to work. There are real kind of practical problems still within the industry that make it hard for women who make certain choices and of a certain age to stay within magazine journalism. So you'll often see a lot of women in their 20s in magazine journalism, but actually in their 30s and 40s they become much rarer. I made the decision to walk away from my job because I wasn't able to see my son as much as I'd like.
And despite all the setbacks, Pavlo has made it to Leeds and he joins our reporter Abbie Lord. Abbie, you've been in contact with each other a lot over the last week, but how does it finally meet in person?
Hey Daniel, well it's absolutely amazing to finally meet Pavlov here in the, well it was snowing a lot heavy but thankfully the sun's coming out for this interview. I'd like you all to meet Pavlo Kordiaka. Hi Pavlov, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm going here to competition Giants Live Europe Strongest Man.
Brilliant. So what's it been like training your home country in the conditions it's been in? Has it been any more difficult, any different?
It was very difficult in this time. My country's war. Russia bombing my hometown, my country, killed our people, and every day, every night is air alarm, and we go into shelter. You can planning your day because it's every minute missiles can aim it in your home.
So how do you feel having left your country in the situation it's in when lots of men are currently fighting on the front line?
It's very difficult feelings because I'm here. My family are in home, and he's in dangers. I'm worried about him, about his.
So if all this wasn't going on, what would you say your favourite thing about home is?
Sorry, one more.
What's your favourite thing about home?
Just at my home, where I feel cozy, warm, as my family.
That's fantastic. How do you feel about representing Ukraine?
I'm proud that I'm Ukrainian. I love my country. I love my flag, my lands, my home.
Fantastic. And finally, talk to me about how would you feel if you won World's Strongest Man? I know you won Ukrainian's Strongest Man.
It's my goal. I can show all the world who is Ukrainians. My very good friend Alexei Novikov won World's Strongest Man 2020, and it will be fantastic if I can do the same.
Can you explain to me just quickly how the competition itself works?
Sorry.
How does the World's Strongest Man competition work?
It's World's Strongest Man invites certain athletes from all world, best athletes, and he separated 5 groups. First 2 days for exercise, and 2 best athletes going to final, and
Okay.
then top 10 maybe will stay World's Strongest Man.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Pavlo. It's been fantastic talking to you. And back to you guys over in the studio.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Abbie, and good luck, Pavlo.
Hey, Josie. Well, the weather here in Yorkshire is certainly keeping us on our toes, with temperatures ranging from 20 degrees to just 1 degree Celsius. Is it cold enough to expect snow? Well, I spoke to the Met Office this morning and they can confirm that starting Tuesday the 29th of March, we should be start to see snowfall in the high grounds of Yorkshire and getting heavier with wintry spells come Thursday and Friday. So my advice to you is roll up them picnic blankets, hide away those flamingo shorts and zip up them coats.
Thank you, Abbie. What a drastic change.